Hello, everybody. Hello, heck, children. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry we started a little bit late, but I'm just going to wait a few seconds for everyone to join us, and then we are going to start the story of Yosef in Egypt. Thank you, everyone who's joined us, and our story starts after what happened yesterday. Do you remember the story from yesterday? Yosef and his family were in Israel, but their dad Yaakov loved Yosef the most, and this made the other brothers very angry and very upset. And so eventually they did something so terrible. They sold their own brother as a slave, and off he went down to the land of Egypt. And then they told the dad, this is Yosef's special jacket. Remember, he got the special jacket with the long sleeves? This is Yosef's special jacket that he wore, and maybe something happened to him. And the dad said, oh no. And the dad thought that Yosef actually died. But Yeladim, you know and I know that Yosef was okay. And even though this is a story with some sad parts in it, this is a story that's going to have a very happy ending. So where we are now is Yosef is in the land of Egypt, and he became the slave to a man called Potiphar. So his new boss is a guy called Potiphar. I know that's a bit of a funny name, but that was his name. That was Yosef's new boss. And Yosef was cleaning and cooking and organizing things. And you know what Potiphar saw? Yosef is really, really good at what he does. And in a little while, Potiphar said, Yosef, you can be the boss of the whole house. You are in charge of everything. And Potiphar would go out in the day, and everyone else would just listen to Yosef, and whatever Yosef said, those were the rules. So that was all great, and Yosef actually started to feel pretty good about himself. He started doing his hair all fancy, and he started dressing all fancy, and he said, I'm really great. I'm the boss of the whole house. And he thought that that was pretty fantastic. Is that the right way for Yosef to behave, Yeladim? You are right, it is not. Meanwhile, Yosef's dad is so sad at home, and he doesn't even know what's happening to Yosef. And Yosef is like acting like everything's so great, and I'm the boss of the house. Well, the next thing that happened was along came Mrs Potiphar, Potiphar's wife. She came along to Yosef, and one thing else I must tell you, Yosef was extremely handsome. Like, he was the handsomest man in the whole world. And Mrs. Potiphar saw him, and she said, ooh, Yosef, you're so handsome. Please, will you marry me? Now, what do you think Yosef should say to Mrs. Potiphar? Should he marry her or not? Well, Yosef said to her, no, Mrs. Potiphar, I cannot marry you. You are already married. Oh, don't worry about that, said Mrs. Potiphar. It doesn't matter if I'm already married. You can marry me anyway. No, says Yosef, there's no way I can marry you if you're already married. Oh, yes, you can, and you have to, she says. Well, Yeladim, Yosef didn't know what to do because he was scared that maybe Mrs. Potiphar would get him into lots of trouble if he didn't listen. And every single day, she would say, Yosef, you have to marry me. And every single day, Yosef would say, no, Mrs. Potiphar, I cannot marry you. You are already married. That's a crazy thing to do. Well, One day, there was no one else around, and Yosef was going around the house, working, doing everything he needed to do, and up jumped Mrs. Potiphar, and Mrs. Potiphar said, Yosef, now I insist, you have to marry me. Yeladim, what should Yosef do? Should he say yes, even if he knows it's the wrong thing, or should he say no and try to run away? What do you think he should do, Yeladim? You are right, he must say no. He must tell her, no, Mrs. Potiphar. And that is exactly what he did. He said to Mrs. Potiphar, I will not marry you no matter what. And he started running away. But Mrs. Potiphar grabbed him, and she grabbed onto him. And as he ran away, she managed to keep hold of his jacket. Can you see, even though he ran away, Mrs. Potiphar grabbed his jacket, and then Yosef ran outside. And everyone came in, and they said, Mrs. Potiphar, what's going on? She said, call the police, call the police. Along came the police. What's going on here? What's going on? And Mrs. Potiphar said, Yosef tried to hurt me. Yeladim, is that true? Did Yosef try to hurt her? Parents and Yeladim, if you are listening and enjoying this, please just give a thumbs up or a heart so that I know you are all still with me while we carry on with the story of Yosef in Egypt. So, the policeman said, what's going on here? Mrs. Potiphar said, Yosef tried to hurt me, and look, here I've even got his jacket that I grabbed while he was trying to hurt me. Thank you very much for that, everybody. I'm giving you a thumbs up back as well. Fantastic. So, Yosef said, Mrs. Potiphar said, Yosef was trying to hurt me. You must put him in jail. Do you know what happened, Yeladim? The policeman went along and they said, okay, we will do that. They went and they found Yosef. They grabbed a hold of him, grabbed Yosef and said, Yosef, you must come with us. We are taking you straight to jail. And that is what happened. Poor old Yosef now ends up all by himself in jail. And that was a very hard time for him. But you know what? Even though it was very hard for him, Yosef knew that even if he was in jail, Hashem still loved him and he was still going to be okay. And you know what, Yeladim? That's important to remember, because I don't know about you, but a lot of people are like at home the whole day now. And maybe with no school and no play dates and no things like that, maybe people feel a little bit like they are in jail. If they feel a little bit like that, I'm really sorry. But you need to know that just like Yosef when he was in jail didn't get sad because he knew that Hashem loved him and Hashem was taking care of him, for you also. Even if you feel sometimes like you can't go out, don't worry. Hashem loves you. And one day, like Yosef is going to get out of prison, one day you are going to be able to get out and go back to school and play with your friends and all of those things as well. So, back to the story of Yosef. Yosef was in the prison, but he was so good in the prison that the policeman of the prison actually said to him, Yosef, you are the best in the whole prison. Thank you, Mr. Policeman. Yosef, because you are so good in the whole prison, I am making you the boss of the prison. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Policeman. I will try to do my best as being the boss of the prison. So that is what happened. Yosef now became the boss of the prison. And everyone who's sending me those thumbs up and that love, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. It helps me to know that you are watching and listening as we carry on with the story of Yosef in prison. So the policeman said, Yosef, you can now be the boss of the whole prison. And Yosef became the boss of the prison. And he would walk around checking on everyone. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? We're going to take a break from Yosef for a minute because I need to tell you about two of the other people who were in prison with Yosef. Now, they were the butler and the baker. Do you know what the butler does? The butler used to bring Paro the wine. Who is Paro, you ask? Paro, also known as Pharaoh. Paro was the king of the whole land of Egypt. Paro was the king, the boss of the whole of Egypt. And Paro had all kinds of people doing favors for him all the time. So one guy was called the butler, and he used to bring Paro his wine every day. Now, I don't have a puppet of a butler, but this is going to be our butler. Am I right that this is a giraffe? No, it's an elephant. The elephant is going to be the butler. So this is the butler who used to bring the wine to Paro every day. And one day he came along with the wine. Let me get the wine for Paro. He came along bringing the wine to Paro. Here you go, Paro, I've got the wine for you. And Paro drank the wine, but as Paro was drinking the wine, he discovered something terrible. Someone's taken my Paro puppet. I have to have it ready for tomorrow. Then Paro just said, tasting the wine, and he discovered something. I can see my Paro puppet. I'm going to get it. I'm coming back. Did you miss me, Yeladim? Here's Paro. And here was the butler bringing Paro the wine. And the butler came along and he gave Paro the wine. And Paro started drinking. A fine wine, fruity with a hint of woody texture. There's a fly in my wine. Who could put a fly in my wine? Take the butler to jail. That is what Paro said. And along came the policeman. And you know what happened? They took the poor butler off to jail. Come with me, sir, come with me. Off he takes the butler to jail because Paro got a fly in his wine. Can you believe it? Well, Yeladim, the story continues. Do you know who else worked for Paro? Remember, it was a baker. What does a baker do, Yeladim? That is right. He makes bread. And can you see my puppet of the baker? It is a hippopotamus. Is that right? Is it a hippopotamus? No, it's a giraffe. Okay. So the giraffe is the baker who always makes the bread. And along came the baker one day with some bread for Paro, bringing the bread. Here you go, Paro, I've made some bread for you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Baker Giraffe. And he took the bread and he started munching on his bread. A delicious bread, nutty, with a hint of cinnamon. I quite like. Ow, Enoch, says Paro. Ow, there's a stone in my bread. Who could put a stone in my bread? Take him to jail. And along came the police, of course, and they took the baker giraffe. He wasn't really a giraffe, he was really a baker, that's just the puppet. And he took the baker off to jail. So now you have two other people in jail. That was the butler who used to bring Paro his wine and the baker who used to make Paro's bread. So you have the butler and the baker. They are stuck in prison along with Yosef. Remember, Yosef is the boss of the whole prison. And one night, the butler and the baker both go to sleep. Whoa, sorry, I fell asleep, Yeladim. I'm trying to tell you about the butler and the baker fell asleep. So they fell asleep. And this is the dream that they had. Ooh, having a dream. And the butler had a very special dream. Oh, I'll tell you about it in just a minute. And the baker had a very special dream. Oh, I'll tell you about it in just a minute. And I had this dream, and whoa, what a crazy dream I had. So the butler said to the baker, what a crazy dream I had. And the baker said to the butler, I also had a crazy dream. What does it mean? I don't know. What does mine mean? I don't know. What does mine mean? Well, they're trying to work out what their dreams mean. And along comes the man who is the boss of the prison. Do you remember who that is, Yeladim? It is Yosef. Yosef comes along. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing today? Yosef, we're a little bit worried. Why are you worried, Mr. Baker? We had such a crazy dream, and we don't know what it means. Well, says Yosef, Hashem knows what dreams mean. If you tell me your dream, maybe Hashem will tell me what it means, and then I can help you. So tell me your dream. So they said they're going to tell the dream. Who's going to go first? I want to go first. No, I want to go first. I'll go first. Okay. Then they decided that the butler would go. I'm going first. And he told the story about his dream. And this was his dream. Yosef, this was my dream. Yosef, this is what I dreamt. I dreamt that I saw 3 grapevines. And on those grapevines were growing some delicious grapes. And there were big grapes. Thank you, Shalva, for helping me with that. And there were big grapes. And I took a cup of the wine and I squeezed the grapes out into the wine. And then I gave the wine to Paro in my dream. Oh, thank you very much for the wine. That was my dream. What does it mean? And you know what Yosef said to the Niladim? He said, Mr. Butler, I know exactly what your dream means. Hashem has told me what the dream means, and I can tell you what it means that there were 3 grapevines. I can tell you what it means that there was the grapes. I can tell you what it means that it made wine and that you gave that wine to Paro. And I will tell you all of that tomorrow. I'm sorry, that's the end of our time for today, Yaladim. But if you come back at the same time tomorrow, we will have more children's Torah stories. From me, Rabbi Sam Thurgood, and from Yosef, we say goodbye. See you next time. Thanks for joining us.